Finding the time and, more importantly, the focus to really learn something new can feel like a constant battle, right? We're always trying to cram it in whenever we can, and that's usually late at night when we're already exhausted. But what if the secret isn't about finding more time? What if it's about using the right time? What if we've been getting it all wrong?
So many of us are. We tell ourselves we do our best work after the world has gone quiet, that we're somehow more creative when the moon is out. It's this common, almost romantic idea, isn't it? The dedicated scholar, burning the midnight oil.
And it feels productive. The house is quiet, the phone notifications have finally slowed down. It seems like the perfect environment for deep focus. But what if that feeling is kind of misleading us?
Now, this quote right here, this is a bold statement. It's not just a suggestion, it's a direct challenge to that whole night owl identity. The idea that there's such a massive difference in the quality of our time, well, that's pretty radical.
A 3-to-1 ratio. Just imagine finishing your most important task for the day by 10 a.m. instead of grinding away at it until midnight. It sounds almost too good to be true, but what if there's actual science behind it?
Yeah, why? This isn't just about being a morning person versus a night person. There's some really fascinating brain science at play here that explains this incredible difference in productivity. So let's get into the mechanics of how our brain actually works. So, what's the reason? It all comes down to a core concept called decision fatigue. Think of this as the hidden energy leak that is silently draining our focus and willpower as the day goes on.
So here's the absolute key idea. Your willpower, that thing that lets you focus and make good choices, it isn't endless. It's a finite resource, and it gets used up with every single decision you make, no matter how tiny.
And this is the perfect way to think about it. You wake up, boom, full mental charge. Every single choice you make during the day, no matter how trivial it seems, draws a little bit of power from that battery.
And just look at this list. We don't even think of these as decisions, do we? What to wear, which email to open first, what to grab for lunch. But each one is a tiny little withdrawal from your cognitive bank account. It's actually why some of the most successful people, like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg, famously wear the same outfit every day. They're not trying to make a fashion statement. They're trying to eliminate one pointless decision to save that mental energy for what really matters. By the time 10 p.m. rolls around, you've already made hundreds of these tiny withdrawals.
Okay, so let's put these two states side by side. What does a fully charged morning brain look like compared to a totally depleted night brain? Well, the difference is pretty stark.
Now, this chart really lays it all out. On the left, you've got the morning brain. The tank is full, willpower is high. But look at that third point. Your focus is proactive. You are in the driver's seat. You're choosing what matters. You're deciding, okay, I'm going to tackle chapter 3, or I'm going to write that tough proposal. Now, compare that to the night brain on the right. The tank is depleted, your willpower is totally shot, which is why you're suddenly so tempted by social media, and your focus becomes reactive. You're not choosing anymore. You're just reacting to whatever email or notification pops up. That is the huge difference between doing deep, meaningful work and just being busy.
And this gets to the absolute heart of it. That feeling of being too tired to think at night, it's not just in your head. It is a real, measurable state of mental resource depletion. You've literally run out of the fuel you need for high-quality, focused work.
And this chart shows the result. That tall bar is your morning hour, a full tank, letting you power through complex problems. That short little bar, that's your night hour. You're running on fumes, so it takes way more time and effort to get even a fraction of the results. This right here, this is that 3x difference, visualized.
Okay, so the science is crystal clear. But what do we actually do with this information? How do we turn this knowledge into a real advantage? Well, it all boils down to a pretty simple, practical strategy.
It really just comes down to these 3 steps. First, you've got to identify and just accept that your first working hour is your golden hour. Second, you have to protect that time. Protect it fiercely. Don't waste it on checking emails or scrolling social media. And third, execute. Use that precious, fully charged brain power to tackle your most challenging, most important task of the day first thing.
And this just hits the nail on the head. The goal isn't to be some kind of hero who can power through exhaustion. The goal is to be a strategist who uses their peak energy for their peak priorities.
It's all about working with your biology, not against it. When you schedule your toughest cognitive tasks for when your brain is naturally at its best, you're not just more productive, you're less stressed, and the quality of your work goes up a lot.
So, the next time you're tempted to burn the midnight oil on a big project, just ask yourself this. What could you accomplish if you gave that task your absolute best hour instead of your very last one?